Welcome to Don Bosco in a Year podcast.
Day 48. The king saves the oratory. It was Kawar again. In spite of the order, discipline, and tranquility that reigned in the oratory, Marquis Kawar, vicar of the city, maintained that our assemblies had dangerous aims. Knowing that I had always proceeded with the consent of the archbishop, he called a city council meeting at the archbishop's residence, because that prelate was rather ill just then. The city council was a select group of municipal department heads. In their hands rested the whole power of the civil administration. The council's head, called the council president, the first councillor, or also the vicar of the city, was more powerful than the mayor. There was much discussion for and against, but in the end, they decided that these meetings absolutely should be blocked and dispersed because they threatened public order. One member of the council was Count Joseph Porvana of Colenno, our outstanding benefactor. At that time, he was Controller General, Minister of Finance, in King Charles Albert's government. Many times he had sent me donations both on his own behalf and on behalf of our sovereign. The prince was very pleased to hear all about the oratory. When he had a celebration of any kind, he would gladly read the account, which I would send him in writing, or which Count Colenno gave him orally. Many a time he informed me how much he esteemed this kind of priestly ministry, comparing it to work in the foreign missions. He expressed a sincere wish that every city and province in his kingdom should establish similar institutions. At New Year's, he always used to send me a subsidy of 300 lire with this greeting: for Don Bosco's little rascals. When he found out that the council was threatening to ban our meetings, he charged Count Colenno to communicate his will in these words: "It is my wish that these assemblies be promoted and protected. If there is danger of disorder, ways should be studied to forestall them and prevent them." The Count had listened in silence to the whole lively debate. When he observed that they were resolved on the banning order and final breakup, he got to his feet and requested the floor. He conveyed the sovereign's wishes and let them know that the king meant to protect the microscopic work. These words silenced the vicar and silenced the city council. Without delay, the vicar ordered me to appear again, continued his stern tone, and told me I was obstinate. He concluded with these well-meant words: "I have no wish to harm anyone. You work with good intentions, but what you are doing is fraught with danger, since I have duty to safeguard public order. I'm going to send men to watch you and your meetings. Should the slightest thing compromise you, I'll immediately scatter your rascals and you'll give me an account of what's coming up in the future." Perhaps it was pressure he was subject to. Perhaps it was some illness he was battling. In fact, that was the last time that vicar Kawar went to the city hall. He was stricken with a painful gout, and within a few months he was dead. But for the 6 months that he lived, every Sunday he sent some agents or policemen to spend a whole day with us, watching all that was said or done in church or outside it. Well, Marquis Cavour said to one of these guards. What did you see and hear in the midst of the trouble? Lord Marquis, we saw a huge crowd of boys enjoying themselves in 1,000 ways. In church, we heard some hair-raising sermons. They said so many things about hell and devils that it made me want to go to confession. Politics weren't ever mentioned. Those boys wouldn't understand anything about politics. Now, if you were to start a discussion about bread and butter, that is a subject each of them would be qualified to speak about. When Cavour died, no one else at City Hall bothered us. In fact, whenever there had been an occasion, the Turin authorities were always favorable to us until 1877.
Thank you for joining us today on this journey to know Don Bosco. May these reflections deepen our faith, guide us closer to God each day, and hope to see you all tomorrow. Till then, keep seeking, keep praying, keep growing.